Hi, we are standing in front of the resin mold of the statue of King Hagler created by internationally known artist Chaz Fagan. This is part of a new exhibit that we've launched this spring at the Charlotte Museum of History. So Angel, who is King Hagler?
So King Hagler was the chief of the Catawba Indian Nation at the time that it was settled, that Charlotte was settled by the Scots-Irish people. And so he's the primary person really negotiating with the British settlers about the Catawba lands. He's considered actually a hero to the Catawba people because he made sure that they had dedicated lands, and the Catawba Reservation that now exists in South Carolina is still on those same lands that he helped dedicate for them.
Wow, so I've seen his face on so many pieces of Catawba pottery. I know here at the museum we do have a couple of these pieces that show his head actually as the handles on one of the boats, which is so cool. So you see him all over Charlotte today, and of course you see him on the Little Sugar Creek Greenway in the actual statue that Chaz Fagan created. Now the Catawba have been here for a long period of time, and they've been part of some of these earliest technologies that are created here. One such technology is actually textile technology, which is one of the oldest technologies in the world, and it's created by using plant fibers. And what you're essentially doing is you're taking these fibers, usually from the mulberry tree, not from the outside, but rather from the inside, and you're twisting. And that twisting action, where you're twisting in two opposite directions, is creating this incredible tensile strength here. And this is actually going to be incredibly, incredibly strong, and it is the building blocks for pretty much everything the Catawba are going to create. Now we have this incredibly erroneous idea about how the Europeans perceived Native American technology, that they didn't like it, that they didn't think it was up to the snuff of European technology. This is absolutely 100% not true at all. In fact, in 1540, when Hernando de Soto came through this area, he actually had people with him that were writing about everything that they saw. And one of the things that they're seeing is they're seeing these textiles that Native American women had created. And one of these explorers actually writes back that the stuff that they're creating, in this case down in Georgia, is better than anything at all that they can get in Spain or Portugal. So they were incredibly impressed with these things that they were creating. All right, so if you want to try your hand at making some Catawba-inspired pottery, we have a trick up our sleeves here for you. Now, if you wanted to make actual Catawba pottery, you need to be a member of the Catawba Indian Nation. You need to actually be creating pottery the same way it's been created for generations, the same clay pits, and using the same traditions. So unless you're a member of the Catawba, you can't make your own Catawba pottery, but you can experiment with this and see a little bit about what it's like. What we recommend doing is actually taking some flour. You need 1 cup of flour. You can take half a cup of salt, half a cup of water, mix it all together, and you're creating a nice dough. This is salt dough, and you can actually experiment. You can create things like pinch pots. You can create little animal figurines. The Catawba make a number of these, and you can see some of the things that we have here at the museum. If you want to learn a little bit more about Catawba pottery itself, we highly recommend reaching out to the Catawba Indian Nation. They have a Catawba Cultural Center down in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Or you can also take a look at the Native American Studies Center at USC Lancaster. They would be happy to tell you anything that you want to know about this incredible tradition.